Hi everyone, welcome to the show. Hello everyone, welcome back to Raising A to Z, this YouTube channel all about homeschooling. My name is Amanda. I am a teacher-turned-homeschool mom, and today I want to talk about something that has kind of changed our homeschooling for the better. And it is simple, it's easy, and super fun. It's nothing revolutionary. It's in the homeschool world. It's something that a lot of homeschool parents do, especially if they're Charlotte Mason homeschool parents. I recently introduced a morning basket to my homeschooling routine with my kids. And let me say, it has been a game changer. For the last 3 or 4 years that we've been homeschooling, basically our morning routine has been the kids get up, they have breakfast and watch cartoons, I get ready, we go through the day. When they're done eating, they go and play and get dressed and kind of meander around while I finish what I'm doing. And then we would sit down and do our workbooks. So we would do our spelling and our math, and then we would do our unit study if it was a unit study day, and our reading. And so that was working for us for the most part. It was working. Basically, it was giving us some hiccups. 2 main hiccups. The first hiccup that I was finding was once the kids left the table from breakfast and watching cartoons, if I wasn't right there, we ended up with a problem of the kids going off to do their own thing, which I don't mind, but it was very hard to kind of rein them back in for workbook time. So they would be off, they would be playing, and I found it very difficult to get them to come back and sit and do their workbooks. And then the second thing was kind of the order in which we were doing things, because I was starting with what was easy for us, which was the spelling and math, because it's done. I don't have to set anything up. I just sit down and open the books, they get to work. Basically our group learning, so our unit study and our reading that we do together as a family, was at the end. Basically, when you have 2 kids who are 2 different levels, one is always done before the other. And whoever was done, sometimes it'd be up to 15, 20 minutes done early. Whoever's done first would go off and start playing, because they're not going to sit at the table for 15 minutes with nothing to do. So they would go off and start playing, and then again, it was this trying to rein them back in for a second time to do the next part of our lessons. So the morning basket has kind of helped us get rid of both of those problems. So I'm going to talk a little bit about what a morning basket is, what I have in my morning basket, and why it's working so well for us. Let's start with what is a morning basket? What is a morning basket? A morning basket is quite literally a basket that you have filled with different activities and lessons that you want to use to start your day. And you can fill it with pretty much whatever you want, whatever lessons you want to do with your family. And primarily these would be lessons or things that you want to do as a group, so your whole family together. And the nice thing is you can very easily customize a morning basket to fit your family's needs and wants and interests. Morning baskets are very popular with Charlotte Mason homeschoolers, and so they have kind of a series of things that they like to keep in their morning baskets. So a morning devotional is very popular, especially among more religious homeschoolers. Things like picture studies, like painting artist studies, musical listening studies, poetry studies are very popular things to include in a morning basket, as well as read alouds. And those would be kind of your traditional Charlotte Mason homeschool type of activities. But you don't have to be a super strict Charlotte Mason person to have a morning basket. You can customize it to be whatever you want it to be. I tend to be on the eclectic side. I'm very much a beg, borrow, and steal kind of person when it comes to my homeschool approach. And so I kind of stole the morning basket and very easily adapted it to what would work for our family. We have been able to adjust and fill it with what works for us. So things that I know other people put in their baskets, subjects that they like to do together as a family, geography or history, where they'd have a section of lessons or whatever, they put that in their morning basket, do it all together. Sometimes they have puzzles or riddles. Sometimes there's flashcards that they like to put in their morning basket. Really, it can be whatever you want to include in your basket that is going to help you guys start your day together as a family and kind of kickstart your learning as a family. So it is very easily customized to what you want to include. And the nice thing is you can have a couple of subjects or a couple of activities that you rotate through. I do know some people who do a music study where they listen to a piece of music, and an artist study, as well as geography. And basically they just rotate through. Whenever they pull out the morning basket, it's the next one. And they kind of just rotate through one of those subjects, which is great because while the goal is to do it all together as a family, you also want to limit it to 15 to 20 minutes. That's a big component of it. It is a thing that where you do it and it kind of kickstarts your day. And that has been one of the reasons why it has been working so well for us and our family. As soon as the girls get up in the morning, the basket's already sitting on the table. They go in, they watch their cartoons, they kind of start playing around with whatever's in the basket that they're interested in. And then once the cartoons are done and they've had their breakfast, I sit down right away and we get into our morning basket. And once we're into the morning basket, like I said, it takes 15 or 20 minutes. Then they get a quick little kind of transition time. So after that, it's brush your teeth, comb your hair, get dressed, make your beds, clean off the table. And then as soon as all those things are done, we meet in the activity room and we get into our workbooks. So it's kind of been a nice way to kickstart our learning, getting us all on the same page together at the same time, and then making that transition from the kitchen table to the activity room to do our work much easier, because we've done some learning and then it's already gotten their brains kind of like going for the day and into that like workbook learning, more school-like mindset. And so they're like, they kind of just move along the way. And the first day we did it and it happened, I honestly thought it was a fluke, because basically even though my kids got up at 7:30, we were struggling to start our activities and our workbooks by like 10:30. We were still struggling. And so the first morning we did our morning basket, I think we were done all of our workbooks by 10 o'clock. And that included our morning basket. It was like some weird morning basket math. I don't understand how it works. It is like above my intelligence, but somehow when you add a morning basket that has more things to a day with like workbooks, somehow morning basket plus workbooks means less time. I don't understand the morning basket math, but it is working. So, and like I said, the first day we did it, I thought it was a fluke, because I was like mind blown that we were already done by 10 o'clock. And it's happened pretty much every single day that we've had a morning basket. We have been done our workbooks by 10 o'clock, like our full day of lessons by 10 o'clock every single time, if not earlier. Sometimes like 9:30, 9 o'clock, 9:30, depending on how quickly we got started on the day. So I'm doing more, teaching them more interesting things. They're more engaged, and we're doing our workbooks and we're done earlier. It's just like win, 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 win for me. So I'm going to show you what I have in my morning basket, what my basket looks like, and maybe that'll give you guys some ideas on what you can put in your basket. So this is my morning basket. It is this kind of like wickery woven basket. I picked this up at, I think it was either a Winners or a Marshalls. I got it for 12 bucks. Not super expensive. These baskets don't have to be expensive. I like this one because it was kind of big enough that I can include everything I wanted. And so this is what I have. I literally put it on the table first thing in the morning or at night before they go to bed. And then when they wake up, they sit down, have their breakfast, and then we kind of like start digging through this basket. The first thing that I have in my morning basket, I'm going to show you, is this thing back here. This is my whiteboard. Picked this up at the dollar store. This is a magnetic whiteboard, which is important. Basically, we do the date. So we do, today is Thursday, September 15th, 2022. And then we do it again in French. Aujourd'hui, c'est jeudi le 15 septembre 2022. And so this has been really great because it's kind of like a circle time. It's something that I wanted to work on a little bit more with Zoe, who is 5 and in kindergarten, kind of doing days of the week. And it's a great way for us to integrate a little bit of French, especially since Zoe is very resistant to the French learning. But this, she doesn't care. She loves it. So we do that first thing, figure out what day it is. And then we do what we're doing today. So these are just little pieces of magnetic strip. I picked this up from Walmart. I think it was $6 for a roll. I didn't even use a full roll. And basically it's sticky on one side, magnetic on the other. I just put pieces of paper that are colored because that was just fun. And I just put down different activities that we do on a regular basis. So then we figure out what we're doing that day. So on Thursday, September 15th, we did workbooks, we did baking, we did lunch, quiet time, they tidied up, we had tea time, we went outside, and we had dinner. That was kind of like what we were doing for the day. And I do have, I just keep it in this little paper cup, other ones. So just a whole bunch of different ones. And I just change them up. So we have bath time, we have going to visit Grammy, we have gymnastics, we have appointments and French and co-op and shopping, movie night. Like we have all kinds of things that we do kind of on a regular basis. And I just pop them on our whiteboard. And it works as two things. First off, they can see what we're happening that day. So it helps them kind of get their heads around what's going to happen next. And two, if throughout the day, if they ever need to like see, hey mom, what are we doing later today? Just pull it out. It's right there. And I find especially my kids like to know what's happening. It helps with transitions throughout the day. So this has been a really nice, inexpensive way to kind of like make them a calendar. But also it's not taking up any room because it just goes right into my morning basket. So that's the first thing we do. After that, we move into some other activities. So I have our little National Geographic Kids. This is the Brain Candy series. I found this at a bookstore and I loved it. I'll put a link to this down below. Put a link for anything in the basket that I can down below. And I thought this would just be a fun way to kind of add some excitement to our day. Basically, every page that you open up has a theme. So like this one was on the number 1,000,000. And then it has, like 3 to 5 cool facts about the number 1,000,000, which is like, yeah, just kind of like quick little things. Like 1,000,000 ants weigh as much as 1 human. If you lived 1,000,000 hours, you will be 114 years old. Like, just like really cool little like tidbits and facts and stuff like that. My kids love it because every day is something totally different. We've done, there's been things about pets, there's been things about birthdays so far, there's been things about prehistoric animals, there's things about sports. It's all kinds of like just like fun tidbits. It's a fun way to start the day and you never really know what's going to be next. So it's a nice little activity and my kids absolutely love it. The next thing that we do is we do a word study. When I originally was like trying to decide what I was going to put in my morning basket, I wanted to get one of those calendars, like word of the day calendars, but I was finding them, A, sometimes they're tricky to find, B, they're kind of expensive, and C, they weren't always kid friendly. Like they were like words that were just like above A, their age level, and B, like the definitions were too intense. But through my searching, my husband always says I'm very good at searching things on the internet, I found this Merriam-Webster's Word of the Day book, and this is great because it's literally for kids. So every day you have it tells you the date. On the date you pick the date, and every day it has like a special word. September 4th word was unique, and it gives you the like pronunciation, it gives you a definition, and then it has like either a fact or a story where the word is being used. So for example, this one was, everyone knows that no two persons' fingerprints are the same, but few people are aware that scientists have discovered the same for tongue prints. Every person has a unique print on their tongue. So like it gives a cool fact, but it also uses the word in a sentence, and there's a cool sentence about it. My kids have really been enjoying this. This past week, it's all been like colors, which has been kind of fun. So it's different facts and interesting things and historical and literature references about colors. Like cerulean was 2000's color of the year, and that was like just a randomly fun fact. And so we've been really enjoying this, and it's a great kind of like educational thing to start our day with without being like, you need to learn. We have a little Bible in here. We read like one story or a couple pages of it. My kids have been enjoying that quite a bit. I wanted something that was not too advanced, but if you are not religious, you do not have to include a Bible at all. You could include things like maybe meditation, or you can include like a thankfulness journal or gratitude journal. Stuff like that are very popular, especially in like more secular morning baskets. But for us, this has been working and we really enjoy it. I know some people also like to include like a devotional. Again, Charlotte Mason studies tend to be more religious because Charlotte Mason was a religious homeschooler. So those are very popular. But for now, we're just working on Bible stories. So that's what we're doing. And so I have a kids' Bible with Bible stories. Another popular aspect of morning baskets are read alouds. And so I like to link our morning basket to our unit study. So basically I fill the basket with a couple of books that I want to get through, and we will do some morning read alouds. So we've been doing ancient Egypt. So I have like some like different ancient Egypt based books in here. Whoops, I'm gonna drop this one. And so sometimes if it's a picture book, we'll read the whole thing. If it is, like, we've enjoyed those. So these, we read the whole thing. If it's a chapter book, like one of these ones, we'll read 1 or 2 chapters. And that has just been kind of like a nice thing for us to do. We do our reading, which kind of kickstarts our unit studies for us. We've done this, we kickstart unit studies with our literature of the day. And then once they're done and we go into the activity room to do our workbooks, unit studies are the first thing that we do. So now we've already done our reading for the day. We start with our unit studies if it's a unit study day. And then once the kids are done, they just move on to their other subjects. And when they're done, they're done. So that has been very, very helpful for us. Kind of all ending when we're done and not having to be pulled back in later on. So yeah, that has been a really nice thing. So yeah, we read a lot of books. I also include my planner in here with whatever we're doing for that day. So I have our like activities and our pages and our workbooks, so that when we leave the table, I can just open it, see what we're doing, and then I just put it back in the basket just to keep it all together with my unit study stuff. I find it just really helpful. If you're looking for a really good homeschool planner, this is my homeschool planner, the Essential Homeschool Planner. It is available on Amazon or as a PDF download. I made it for homeschoolers because I needed something that was going to work. Unfortunately, it does not come bound like this. It does come printed from Amazon like a book, but I took mine to Staples and had it the spine cut and put in a spiral binder. I wish Amazon would allow us to pick that choice. Maybe they will one day, but for now, that's what we got. So the last thing I like to include in my morning basket are a few things for busy hands. So especially if we're reading like a couple of chapters or if we're doing different activities that take a little bit longer, I do like to include something to keep the kids' hands busy so that they can do something while they're listening. So Alexi is a very adamant colorer. She loves to color and draw and all that. So I picked up some of these. We got oceans, we got tropical escapes, we got inspiring places. These were like adult coloring books. I got them from the dollar store, Dollarama. They were $3 a piece, but they're like the really nice, like more detailed imagery. Just like much more detailed patterns and stuff. I'm not a big coloring book fan per se. Like they don't offer a ton of creativity because everything's done, all the creative work, most of the creative work is done. So in terms of like as an art project, I'm not a big fan of coloring books. As a busy hands kind of activity, they are fantastic because the kids can easily color and they can listen at the same time. So I have my coloring books and I also have a big jar of coloring pencil crayons. And so my kids will just pull this out. Alexi actually often pulls these out while she's watching cartoons because she likes to listen and color at the same time. So sometimes before I even have breakfast on the table, she's already into this, which is kind of nice. So I also have these like pop sockets. These ones I picked up at Winners. They were there for like $4 for the pair. That was a nice thing. It's just something that they can just put in their hands and just pop as they go. If you are looking for pop socket thingies like this, or whatever you call them, poppers, I don't know what they're called. Fidget poppers. Maybe that's what they're called. Fidget poppers. If you're looking for a fidget popper, I highly recommend you actually test them out because I have ordered fidget poppers. Sometimes they're not great, especially if the rubber is too soft. They don't get that like satisfying pop. But you can also include little cars, you can include a little bit of Play-Doh, anything that's small and will keep their hands busy while they're doing something like a listening activity. So yeah, that's what's in my morning basket. It has been a fantastic addition to our homeschooling. Like I said, I don't really understand the morning basket math of doing more and then going into workbooks and getting more done in less amount of time. I think it just really helps us kind of focus and get us started in the right direction. It helps us stay like on top of things in terms of like we're not wandering off to do other activities before we leave the table. And so it has been a really great kind of addition for our homeschooling, and we really have been enjoying it. That's what's in my homeschool basket. I hope that this has helped you guys maybe figure out what you want to put in your homeschool basket, or if you are struggling with your morning routine, maybe this would be a great way to kind of get you guys on a good system. Just kickstart your day in the right direction when it comes to homeschooling. We have really been enjoying it and it's really been helpful for us. If you guys like this video and you want to see more videos about how we do our homeschooling ideas, tips, tricks, information, make sure that you're subscribed and you click the bell to get notifications. If you want to see more about my morning basket, my morning routine, routine, how the morning basket works in real life, or just how we do homeschooling in general, make sure you're following us on our social media, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. And if you have any ideas or want to share what you include in your morning basket, please feel free to do that by leaving a comment below. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next week.